everyone. I'm Linda Nickell, and welcome to the Happiness Hour. We meet here every Wednesday evening to connect, inspire, and create with the help of a guest speaker that shares their photos, the stories behind them, some inspiration to help you try something new, and their tips to help us all improve our own photography skills. The schedule for upcoming presentations is on my website at lindanickell.com, as well as the links to previous sessions on YouTube. Tonight's guest is Karen Riley. Karen is an art teacher and a macro and still life photographer. Karen published her first book called Composition: 15 Photography Tips to Creating Captivating Images. And last fall, she provided the artwork for a children's book called If Dogs Could Talk. Both of those can be found on Amazon.com. In tonight's presentation, Canva, extremely helpful and user-friendly. Karen's going to give us a tour of the features that this app has to offer. She's going to show us how to make an Instagram reel, a presentation, and a video. If you're on Instagram, look for Karen at homeplate_101. That's homeplate_101. And you can connect with her through her website at homeplate101.com. Welcome back to the Happiness Hour, Karen.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And hopefully tonight's really, usually I have a presentation and I go through the presentation and do a little talk. But tonight I really wanted to actually work on some things so that you guys could set up and see how it goes. And hopefully you'll see how easy it is. Like, you guys use much more complicated programs, Lightroom, Photoshop, even PhotoPills. Like, this is so easy and user-friendly. I love it so much. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we will get started.
And I'm going to back that up and say she loves this so much because every opportunity she gets to show me what Canva can do, she takes, which I don't mind because I learn too, but she's a little addicted to it. So I'm super excited that you're going to do this.
And, the first thing I wanted to do is talk about an Instagram reel. And so with the Instagram reel, I will tell you, whether you like it or not like it, it's just the way it is. My regular post of just a photograph, you guys probably already know this, they will get maybe 50 likes. Not probably many more views, but if I post a reel, even not a great reel, I had one, I was actually shooting birds that were in my garden on a flower, and it was through a window. It was not a good, it got 4,000 views. And so I just want to encourage you, you can take your photographs and make them into a reel, or take your videos and make them into a reel and make it interesting. And you can use that format and just reuse it every week, and it will help you kind of develop a brand, if that's what you're looking for, but people will recognize the way you have done it and the format that you use, and it just helps you become more recognizable. It also is super easy to just slot your photos and your text back in every week. And so, yes, find something that you like. So what I first do is, you can get on Canva for free. Okay. These little crowns over here, if y'all can see them, they are for paid users. And I have a teacher's account at my school. And so I don't even know how much Canva Pro costs, but if you are a heavy duty user and you get in here and you see these little crowns, you're like, oh, I'd like to try it. Definitely check into their plans and pricing and see what works for you. But I can do a tremendous amount of things for free. So this is like the home page. And so the first thing I would do is, I'm going to say I want an Instagram reel. Is already up there. Instagram, and you can do a post. Okay, and so I'm just going to type Instagram Reel, and then what it's going to do is it's going to give me some options. Okay, so I can create a blank one over here and just start from scratch, but I don't love starting from scratch. And so what I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to start from one of their templates and just show you how I rework it. And I will show you it's basically taking a tour of their site by reworking it. So this is the one I chose. I did a little practice on it so that I would, you know, be quicker. So this is what I want. I want to customize this template. Okay. So here it is in the format. It'll come up in just a second. Okay, so here's what it looks like. It's 22 seconds long, and I can decide whether I want to shorten that or not. But what I did with this one is I took, the first thing I want to do is I want to replace the picture. So I also uploaded my own photos. So you have an option to use their photos. And then again, if you go down here and look, there are templates like this one is a pro template. So you would have to have the pro to use it. So, but anything that doesn't have a crown, you are welcome to use. So then I already uploaded some photos. Okay, so here is my template. Okay, and I don't want this little bell. And so I just clicked on it and then I'm going to trash it. Okay. And so that's gone. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a little video of the winter storm that we had. Sorry for all you guys that are actually in a winter storm right now. I didn't know that the rest of the country was, we had 90 degrees today. And so I thought, oh, it'd be fun to remember the night, you know, the freezing rain. Okay. And so I want to take away this little, their background. And so all I have to do is grab my photo and put it in there. Okay. And then I didn't really want the whole photo in there, and you can see how large it is. So I double click on it and I can bring it down. So I can resize it. Hang on, grab it and then resize it. Hang on, we're going off. So if you mess up, you just redo it, cancel. Okay, so I don't want it to fill the whole screen. I just want it a little bit. So I'm going to take it over and I just want it to be like in the middle, and I want to pull it across because I want to show you kind of an overlay of what I do. So then you can see some lines show up in just a second. It'll tell you when it's in the center. Hang on, see that little, there's a little pink line that'll tell you, oh, your photo's centered right there. Okay, so now I know that it's centered, and that's kind of where I wanted it to be. And then the word, you can't see the words very well, and so I wanted to put a little box over it, and because this is one of my favorite things to do. So you go over here to elements, and I just want a square. I'll make it a rectangle or a square, whatever I want. And then I'm going to place it here. Okay, it's that size. It's a different color than I probably want. And then I'm just going to pull it down. And you can see that pink box. That's kind of the guide to where your margin should be. But that's up to you. I mean, if you want your tiny margins, then you can do that. I just like some of their guidelines, and so I use them. Okay, it's way too dark. And so I want to go in here. Right here is where your color is. And you go in, and then maybe I'll pick this color. So what's great about this, right, this section right here, is that it tells you the colors that are already in your photo. And so it will match the colors to your photo. So you don't have to be like, is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? And so I love this feature right here. This is one of my favorite things because I can say, oh yeah, I want it to be that gray. And now I know that it matches something in my photo, but it's still kind of blocking my image. And so another thing that I like to do, there's 3 dots up here where it says more. And I like to have some transparency. So you'll watch it go and it'll start to be transparent, and then you can start to see the ice behind it. And so you decide, I usually go with 50-ish, but I mean, really, if you want to go, you can go whatever you want. Just pick what you want and there. But that's one of my favorite things to do. And so I don't want a reminder. Oops, sorry, I'm moving my thing. So you can always undo it. So I click on the main part, and then I want to go into these words, and I want to just type winter storm, because I want to use their text, because they've already set up a nice combination that I like. And we'll put 2023. Okay, but it's blocking my other text. And so I click off, and then I click back on, and then you can, sorry, click off, click back on. And then this little thing you can drag it. And so I want to drag it up to here. Again, this is a personal preference where you want to put it. I could put it in here. And then with this text, I'm going to move that down because I don't want it to be down here. Okay, so, and I'm going to put it all the way down here. And one thing you have to watch about a reel that you guys probably already know is that there's usually text at the bottom. So make sure you don't have important information all the way down here. So this is obviously white on white. It's not going to work. And so here's how you change the color right there, the text color. And so at first I'm just going to change it to black, basically black. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, I like the look of that. So I'm going to, and then there's a little piece of text behind that one. Hang on, that's white. Hang on, let me find it right there. And so I'm going to move that down, and I'm going to change that so I can see it also. Text color, black. I'll type my website in there just to. Okay, and then I'll just leave that at the bottom. Then I'm going to pull my text back down. And then do you see these numbers right here? That means it's directly in the center between the photo and my website. And so I'm like, well, it's not on the block anymore. It's half and half. What am I going to do about that? I do like it centered because it's nice and even, and I just like things centered. So I'm going to go ahead and say, you never know about Texas winter. Can spell. Okay, and then if you don't want it this size, here's your little tab to squeeze it. And I want Texas on that thing. Okay, now, but it's no longer centered. Okay, so what great about this is I can move it now until I see that pink line right there. Now I know it's centered, okay? And I want to bring it down a little bit. There you go. Now it's centered with my website and the photo, but this is in the middle, and so I don't want that. So I want to drag this down a little bit, and right about there. And so that is my first little section. But 5 seconds is actually kind of a long time for people to be looking at just a still. And so I'm going to add another section. Okay, and so I'm going to put another photo that I uploaded, and I'm going to put, let's see, this photo in. Okay.
Could I ask, how did you add that new section, please?
Right here, you see a little plus? You can just add. So it'll add a little section into there.
Okay.
Okay, and so this photo, I'm going to make about here. And then I want to put, actually, I'm going to pull it all the way to the edge and it'll tell you when you're right at the edge. It'll light up. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. And then I'm going to add some text. So you go over here and you decide, okay, this is pretty small text, just a little bit of text, and it'll put it on there. I'm going to click on the whole thing. Okay, but you have these great different fonts on the side that you can do. There's tons of different fonts. You can see the little crown. If it's got a crown, that's your pro version, but there's lots of stuff you can use. And so you guys decide, what you like. I'm going to go with just regular text because I want to show you. Okay, so I encased all materials of our trees. Okay, so now I have this, and here's another way to change your text up here. And you can go through, they'll say, oh, here's what we recommend for this combination. And then sometimes you can go and then you can just see, I mean, they have a lot of fonts. You can go down, and obviously some are pro and some are not, some are free, but they have tons of fonts. And so you can change it to whatever you want. I really do. They work really hard at with graphic artists, and they have different designers on staff. And so I would probably go with something that they recommend if I like it. And so let's go with this one in particular. Okay. And now if I want to make it larger, I can either down tab and then just scroll down to a large, or I can actually just add the plus, just keep increasing it until I get to where I'm like, okay, that's large enough. Okay. And so you can go as far as you want. Okay. So I'll just leave it large just for a second, just so y'all can see it. Okay. So I want it centered. And then I'm going to add another one. This time I'm going to add a video to it. I uploaded a video. So you have images right here. You have videos, and then you can even upload your own audio. So like if you were giving instructions, or if you're really good at playing music and singing, which I'm not, but if you had instructions that you wanted to load up or talk about where you were or whatever you're using, you can upload your own audio. And so I uploaded a video of this little thing. It was dripping. It was kind of interesting. And it just adds to the image, okay? Because you can see how you can use stills that are creating a video that they can look at, and then you can add your own video to it. Okay, and so then my last one, I was going to add another image, okay? And so here I have this little piece of my fig tree is coming in, and I wanted to write, spring is on the way. Spring is on the way. Okay. And then what's great about this, I'll bring it down so you can actually read it. Okay. And so again, I can make it larger. I can make it bold. I can italicize it. I can center. Okay. Or I can make it right or left align, or spread it out so that it's like a book. It fills the margins. But I'll leave it centered. You can also add bullet points, and you can space it differently if you want. And so I want it just a little bit bigger. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Let's just say 36, and maybe bold it so you can see it. Okay. So again, if I want to change the color, I've got, these are the colors in my photo. Okay. So I can change it to any of these colors. And then you have all these other colors, plus you can add any color. You can choose any color you want on their spectrum. It's crazy, but that seems a little bit overwhelming to me. So I'm not going to do that. So now I wanted to just add a fun element. So let's just say I want to put a little arrow in there. Okay. So I click on the arrow, there it is, but that's not where I want it. So I want to rotate it. So I'm going to rotate the arrow because I want to point to that little fig leaf that's coming. And then I'm going to move it up here. Okay. And then I'm going to, let me rotate it just a little bit more down like this. Okay. And then I want to put some more text in. I'm just going to say, there's my fig leaf bud. Okay. And then here we go. I'm going to put that up here. Not a bed, sorry, bud. Bud. Okay, so they have tons of these little elements. They're super fun to use. You can type in, or you can look at the options they give you here, but you can type in, like if I said I want a dash line. Okay, so they're going to give you some options of a dash line. They're also going to give you some photos. They may even give you videos. You can have these are decorative lines if you wanted to make edges on different things. What is really fun too is some of them are animated. So hang on, let's see. We'll put a moving line or moving arrow. How about that? Okay, so you can actually get some graphics going. So we'll switch this one out because I was like, oh, that's more fun to look at. So we click on that, and I want to size it down, and then I want to flip it around. And they'll go both ways. So you can pick one that is right there. Okay, and then I would move my text over here and maybe make it larger. And maybe bold it so I can see it better. Okay, so now you've got your little reel set up, okay? But nobody wants to look at this one picture for 5 seconds. I think in our mind, 5 seconds is not very long, but it really is for like Instagram. So I'm gonna make this right here. When you see the highlight right there, you take your arrow when both ends and then just move it in. You can see the seconds going down. So I'm gonna make it 3 seconds. Okay, I'm going down. There's 3 seconds. So 3 seconds should be enough. This is 5 seconds. You have to read it, but it's not that much text. It's really large text. So I'm going to make that 4 seconds. So I'm pulling it in to 4. Oh, let's go 4 seconds. Okay. And then my actual little reel, my little video was only 3.9 seconds. So that's going to be 3.9 seconds. And then this is 5.7 seconds. You definitely don't need that. It should be shorter. So we'll click on this little thing. We'll bring it in. We'll bring it into 4 seconds. Okay. So now you can take, hang on, it's not grabbing it. Hang on. Let me grab it. Let's go down to 3.5. Okay. So now you want to set your cursor at the beginning. I do this all the time. I have my cursor in the middle of my grouping. So this one is too long. I don't know why this is. Okay, so it's going to pull it in a little bit. Okay, so I have set your cursor back over here. If you do something that you don't like, just undo it right here, right there. That's the undo button, and it works really well. Okay, so now I want to run this. Okay, and I want to see how it looks. So this is just the run button. Okay. Then you decide if anything is too long, then cut it down. And then that's the end. So now if you wanted to add audio, again, start at the beginning, okay? And then here's the audio button. And I don't have any uploaded that I particularly like. So I was just going to use this happy whistling ukulele. So I put that in there. Okay. And then if you don't like that particular section of the song, you can scoot it down here and move it all over. But I'm perfectly happy with what they selected. And so again, my cursor's up here. I'm going to start at the beginning, and it's going to show me what people will be able to see when I download it. Okay, and so that's it. And so what you want to do is you want to save this up here, and you want to name it Winter Storm 2023 or 2020, how about February 2023. Okay, and that's the Instagram reel. So now if next week I want to talk about the spring and all my plants coming up or my dog running around, I just go back in here and I just replace the picture, change the text, and I've already got and then put in another picture with a little bit more text, put in a short little video, and then another picture. And I've got this reel that will you just resave it every time. And you have this reel that you can just run every week. So it's the same format. It saved it for you. So I'll show you when you go back in your home.
Karen?
Yes.
I'll ask you a couple of questions. I'll let you finish. Okay. Don't was going to say create it or run it, because I was going to ask you a couple of questions before you go too much further off of this.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so there you see it. There it is. So you can pick it up next week if you want. So I'll go back on it, and then yeah, sure. What are the questions?
Okay, so the first question is, Mika's wondering to know, can you import music from other sources?
I think you can. I have never actually done it. Let me show you what it says when you select audio. Oh, it's in your uploads, and then it's audio, and then here's where what you can select from. So if you had it on your computer, you could upload it.
So my question is, and I do think I think this is an issue because of the music rights. So
yes,
if you load a song that Canva is providing into Instagram, I don't know that it's going to accept it, because if they don't have the copyright rights, I don't know that that's going to work. Do you know?
Yeah, so anything so far, I've never had a problem with it. I do see people that do get their music nixed because of copyright issues. That's where you might have a problem if you upload it yourself. But like everything that they have on here so far that I have used, especially in the free section, I think that they have the rights to it. I think they have paid the user. The same thing with their photos. They have photos. They have a whole batch of photos. Hang on, let me show you. That if you don't have your own photos, which you guys all do, so that's not really an issue, but sometimes I'm doing a project for school and I need photos, and so they have a whole section of photos here that you can use for free. Yeah. So
I guess it goes back to, is Instagram going to let that outside music in?
They have always let me do it. I've never been shut down on the music.
So, and I mean, I'm pretty limited on doing reels, but if you create your image here, your video or whatever this clip is, and you don't import music and you just import that into reels, you can select music from Instagram's big library. So I think that's one way to get around it. If for whatever reason it kicks your reel out because of that copyright issue. So just something to kind of think about. Okay, so the next thing, 2 questions. Jamie's asking, is it saved online? And I think what she's asking is what you just worked on, you saved it online in your account.
It's in my account, but if I wanted to, so here's where you want to save it. If you want, but even if you're going to download it onto Instagram. So you go into share, and then you go into download, and then it's an MP4 video now, okay, and you want the whole thing. I'll show you later how you might not want the whole thing, okay. It's technically 4 pages, and then you download it there, so you can download it onto your actual computer if you want to do that. I download plenty of stuff for school, but it's under the this share part. And if you're doing like an invitation or a party, invitation or something like that, you definitely want to download it in a different kind of format, a PDF or a JPEG, depending on what you're making. Okay. They have a lot of different formats.
Okay, I'm going to make you go backwards. And the reason I'm going to do this is, I know Canva because you walked me through it, but a lot of people, this is the first time they've seen the app. Do you mind walking through some of the icons on the left-hand screen and telling people what they are, what they can find underneath those? Just kind of give a tour, really a tour guide of what are each of the,
Sure. Okay. So this is your home. This is where you can find tons of different, you can see just some of the dots, but there's plenty more of different things that you would want to make. You can make docs, whiteboards, presentations, social media, videos, print products even. You can design stuff for your website. And then your content is going to be down here. This is the stuff that you've made, or I've made actually. And so those are going to be my recent designs. You can also put things in projects and work with other people on them. So you can add people to your projects. They have a folder system. You can pick particular designs, and then you can see the owner. So if you're invited, like I sometimes invite people from school, or I'll invite my school account into my home account so that I can use it back and forth. And so that's where you would find all that. Brand, these are different kind of things. So this is where you can create a team. If you're working on something as a team and you want multiple users to be able to use it at the same time, that's a great place for the team. So then inside, let's go just inside.
Yeah, I think, yeah, if you could just maybe the menu with inside a template.
Yeah, sure.
Because like, you know,
okay. Okay, so here's your design, okay? And so you can type in any kind of template or design you want to do it. So basically you're inside a design. I rarely use this thing, but it's just showing you all the options. So that's what the design button does right there. And then elements are really fun. So I showed you some lines and shapes. Okay, there's graphics, there's stickers, there's photos that you might want to use. There's videos. There's audio. You can do charts and tables. And if you think of something that you're not sure if they have it, type it in here, search elements, and look it up. These frames are nice because you can make curves, and you can make, you can change the shape, and then your photo will just fit in there nicely. So basically these right here are just basically you're sticking them on your design, and then you're going to come back later and put a photo in there. Okay, so those are just blank photos. So there are so many things, I can't even tell you what there are. There are these little sticker kind of things. They're little graphics, drawings. Yeah, so you can go on, but typically I will type in what I'm looking for. And then if you want some ideas, here's lines, circles, squares, gradients, rectangle, phone, blur, YouTube. Like there's all kinds of things that they're going to prompt you on. So they kind of know what I use a lot, and they will put it up here. So there's tons of stuff. I'm like, oh, I used that circle last time, I want to use it again. So there it is, recently used. So that's kind of nice. I really like that. And I tend to use, you can see they loaded mine, lines, shapes, and graphics. I don't use stickers so much. And then I use photos. Sometimes I'll use these different photos that they provide for if I'm doing some things for my students and I want to show them, different colors or shapes or whatever I'm doing for my students. I rarely use video in my presentation. It's because I use this a lot for school and a lot for Instagram, but I rarely use them, but you absolutely could use those if you wanted. Uploads. This is the stuff that you upload yourself. Okay, so there's an opportunity to record yourself. If you want to be recording, like if I wanted to talk about the winter storm, I could roll this and record myself and then put it down. Instead of that little song, I could put it down there at the bottom, and it would be my voice. So these are my pictures. Yes, I had bank checks. I was trying to show my students how a check works. I teach personal finance too. So I just wanted them to know, because kids don't know what checks are and how they work anymore. And then these are videos that I've uploaded. Okay. And then these would be any audios. I haven't uploaded any audios, but these would be audios that I've uploaded. This is your text button. And so you can add a huge, big heading up here, or a subheading, or so you can see the size change right here. And so that's a quick way to just add a text box. And then there's some other options. If you wanted something different, you could do that. If you want to take your text and watch, I'll show you. If you wanted to take this and animate it so it's not a still and people aren't just sitting there waiting for it to change, you can animate it. And you have options of how it's going to work. So you click on it and it'll show you how it will animate your particular thing. Okay, so here's the fun one. Here's disco, kind of crazy. Here's corporate. Okay, so it'll show you what yours will do. And if you click on it, that will become your, what will happen with your thing. So let's just go with simple. Okay. So now it's animated. You can see up here that it's animated. So we'll play it again and you can see how it starts. Okay, so you see how it changed this first section, maybe made it a little bit more interesting to your viewer. Okay. And so that's something kind of fun. Okay. So I'm going to remove it just for now. So that's one thing you can do. And yeah, and then your text also, you can change. I showed you earlier, you can change your text if you don't like what they provided. Here's your option to animate just the text. Okay, right over here. And then these three buttons, you can underline it. You can uppercase something that's lowercase. You can copy the style. Okay, you can link it. So if you wanted to put a link in there for something, and then you can lock it. So you can put your layers in there. If you want to mess around with some stuff, but you wanted to lock one particular thing, you know you want it there, you can lock it, and then you can always go back. So you could lock it, and that particular thing is not going to move, even if you move your other things around. So you wanted your words there. But then you can go back and you can unlock it pretty easily. So it's locked. And you can unlock it. Okay, and the position. So this thing is layered right now. So I want to show you the position. So let's just say I wanted to bring, right now my picture is in the very back. This little rectangle is in the middle ground, and my words are in the foreground. They're closest to me and the layers. And so if I wanted to switch my box to the back, I would go into position, and it tells you you can move it up a layer or back a layer. So I'm going to move it back a layer. And now it's behind. You can see how it's behind the photo. So now this is in my back. So the white is actually in the very background. Then comes the rectangle, then the photo, and then the text. Okay, and so I'm going to put it back where it was just to, because I liked it better. Okay, so you go back to position, and I'm going to move it forward just one. I just want to move it one place. Okay. All right. So this right here is this is your different project. So these are the designs. It's like instead of going back to your home, you can just go in here. So I was working on some stuff earlier, and so that's going to be in there. Your designs, again, it's kind of the same thing. I don't think I have anything. Yeah, I don't have anything in folders. These are my images, and then these are my videos. So those are just the projects that I'm working on. This audio is all of the audio that they have for you. But again, you could use the Instagram audio, and I don't think they would be able to, they won't wipe it off of your thing. But I've never had that happen because I always use the ones that are in here. Okay, but like if I just wanted a pop, so it's gonna look, these are all for sale. Okay, so those are, but you can go back and you can type in different kinds of, like, oh, okay, I wanted beach disco. So it kind of tells you kind of what kind of audio you're looking for. So if you have solo instruments, okay, there's a ukulele, here's some pianos. anyway, so it kind of gives you an idea so that you're not just scrolling through all the different choices that you have. It kind of puts them into categories right here, and you can decide, if you like it or not. In the apps, this is new and I have not used it very much. And so I don't know a ton about it, but it looks like there's drawing. You can add a QR code or create one. And so I don't know a ton about this, but it would probably be fun to look around here. So I don't use this at all yet. And so I don't know a ton about it. That's one thing I don't know. Okay.
Karen,
yes.
Before you move off, so this goes back to the music question. Susan's curious, can you add 2 audio tracks, your voice and music?
You mean over one another?
I'm assuming that's what she's asking.
So she's saying if you had background music and you're talking?
Mm-hmm. Let's assume that's the case.
Okay. I don't know. I've never wanted to talk on yes. I'll be honest, I don't know. That's interesting. I can try one thing and see. Here, let me see if I can record myself. This is about my winter storm in February of 2023. Oh, hang on. This is about the winter storm in Texas in 2023. Okay, so if I want to save and exit, hang on. This is about the winter storm in Texas in 2023. Okay, now okay, so it's here.
I don't think you can.
I don't know. I don't think you can. I think that's not that complicated.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let's move on because we've got more stuff to cover.
Okay. And this is me talking. So, okay. So now, okay. So yeah. So let's go back home and let's do a quick presentation. I'm going to show y'all a quick presentation. So I already chose this presentation as my format, and let me just show you a quick thing that I really like. Okay, so first of all, they have set up a bunch of different pages for you to choose from. So when you start to get here, you can actually say, you know what, I like the design of this page. I would like to drag it here. And it adds it right away. And then you can just replace it. So that is one thing that I love. It gives you some samples. It kind of puts a whole thing together. You absolutely can start on your own and do your own thing. If you just want to add a blank page, there it is. It's blank. Okay. I do that too sometimes, but I do like to do a setup that's already created. And so with this one of the features that I really, really like about this presentation is that if I want to present it, I click the present button and I present it, and there it is on my full screen, and I can project it if I want to, and then I escape and I bring it back like this. You can also record yourself talking. So if you wanted to put a presentation on YouTube or some other thing where you are talking about it and you're going through it, or for work, or whatever you do, you're teaching something, you can go through your slides, you can present it and record yourself, and it will put you as a little like icon up here, and it's super nice. Then you can download it and put it wherever you want. So that's a pretty nice feature of that. So here I am, started off with this, and I don't like the color. Okay, and so I'm going to click on the whole thing. I'm going to go over here to your color, the background color, and these are the colors that they chose, and I don't really love them, so I'm going to change them to blue. Okay, oh gosh, that's not really, I didn't want to change that to blue. I want to change that to white. I want to change this to blue. Okay, right here, color. Okay. And I want it to be, let's just say blue. It will say down here, do you want to change it all? So that way, every single thing that I copy, every single slide that I use from then, it will change it all. So I say, yes, I want to change them all. And so I'm just going to click on this button. And now everything that was that color blue has changed in their slides. But I still don't like the text. I don't like this color. So I'm just going to go with a lighter blue. And this, I'm going to go with the lighter blue. Let's just make everything light blue. Oh, wrong color. Sorry, wrong color. Let's go white. Let's go white. Okay. So then I'm going to change this to white. And this little dot right here is all on its own. I'm going to change it to white. Okay. I can change them all. Change it all. So it's all blue, white, whatever. Okay. And then now I can see my document colors there because there's some photos left and some other print. I can see that brown and tan is left. And so I'm going to do this as a composition challenge. And I'm going to do the thing right here. And I'm going to do. Okay. So there I've got my first screen for, let's just say I'm doing this for my students. I'm going to go here to my next screen. Okay. If I want to reorder them, watch, you just grab it by holding the mouse down and you pull it there. So if I wanted that blank screen, number 2, to be blank, I would put it there. So I don't. I'm going to go back. I'm going to put it back where it was. Hang on. I'm going to try to put it back where it was. Okay. So now I'm going to work on this screen. And I have an uploaded photo. And this is something like I would do in my class. Okay. I'm going to put it in here. How big is it? I'm going to change the size of the background. Okay, so this, I'm going to take this out because I'm just dealing with one photo. So all I'm doing is backspacing, but you can also delete it. And I want to take that whole thing out. And I'm going to make my box, my blue box, a little bigger because my photo is actually bigger. And then I will rearrange it. Okay, so I'm just really using the mouse to move it up to where I want it to. And you can see that pink outline, that kind of tells you where like a natural margin is. Now I'm going to click on my photo. Now I can see how big it actually is. And hang on, let me click off and then click back on. And then these little lines are what tell you can drag it out to be as large as it should be. And this one to be as large. Okay, now you can see that the thing is, okay, so that's where I want, but now my box is too big because I didn't know how big my photo is going to be. I just drag it down and make it like a frame. And I don't really want it blue. I'll change it to black to go with, but see that here you go. You can change it to whatever you want and match your photo, which I really love because it matches. Or you can change it to black and make it. And so for my students, I would say photo number 1. And then for them, this is just some other language. I would say, what do you see? Okay, and so they have to tell me, so that would just be, I'm going to get rid of this too. I want to change this to black because it matches my frame. And this is black. Okay, and I want to make this bigger because this is going to go on a slideshow. You could either do it for your office or I do it for my students a lot. And so I'm asking them, so they have to tell me what they see composition wise before. Now, I don't want to do this layout again and again and again and again for them. And so all I do, I let them talk about it real quick. And then I say, I want to duplicate it. Okay, so I want to copy this one. So you can either add a page, which is blank. You can duplicate a page, which is going to give you an exact replica, okay, of the page. You can delete it if you don't like it. You can hide it, and you can lock it in place, okay? This one, I don't use this at all, so I'm not really sure what that does. And then this one is a transition. I want to manually move my slideshow with like the cursor, but if you just wanted your slideshow to flow, let's just say you have a video that you are putting at some sort of showing, and you want it to just keep rolling, you would add this. You would add a transition so that it just keeps rolling and you don't have to manage it, okay? Okay, so now I have 2 copies of this, and I'm going to tell them the first thing we see is, so the number 1 thing we see, so first, okay, the first thing they see is the rule of thirds, okay? So I'm hoping that they came up with some of these ahead of time. Rule of thirds. Okay, so I need lines to show them the rule of thirds. So I'm going back over here to elements. I'm going to look for a line. Okay, I just want, we can use a dotted line, a dash line. Okay, so I'm going to put a line about 1/3 of the way down. Okay, and it's too long over here, so I want to shorten it. So you can see when my cursor gets on there, when it looks like a little plus, and it lights up, you just pull it back. Just pull it back a little bit, and it'll go. And it tells you the number of degrees too, so that means it's straight, the 0 degrees. Okay. Oh, it's still a little bit too long though. Okay, so I'm going to pull it back just a tiny bit. Okay. Okay, so now I put in 1. I know that that is the length I want to use, so I'm just going to copy it. So I highlight it, and you can either do this right here, copy, or you can actually do Control-C like you would normally. So now I have another one. I'm going to move that to the top third, right about there. Okay, and then I want another one because I'm going to show them. Hang on, I want another one. Okay, I'm going to show them, but I want it to be up and down. So I'm going to rotate it. And now you can see the degrees. I want it to be 90 degrees because I want it to be straight up and down. Okay, and then I kind of move it, click on it again. I got to click off and click on it again. Oh, this is actually, let me get rid of that. Okay, and so this is about, that's halfway in the middle of the frame, but let's see. Now let's put it there. And then I have to drag it down just a tiny bit to make it reach. Okay, and then I want to copy that because I want it to be exactly the same. So I copy it again, and then I'm going to move it over to the other third. Here we go. So let's just put it here because that's where it was in the photo. And we're moving this over. Now let me move this over just a tiny bit. Okay. So what I have done for my students now is I've shown them, oh, look, it's the rule of thirds. It's broken into thirds. I put his head right in the rule of thirds. Okay. And so that was so simple to do because I've already just copied it. So I want to go back and I want to do the second thing, and I want to copy it again. Duplicate the page again, but I don't want it here. I want it to be behind. So I'm dragging it over and I put it there. And now this is the second thing I see. So the second, and then just replace this text. Okay, and so I would say, okay, there's analogous colors. So the yellow and the green. Okay, and so my students should know that those 2 colors are next to each other on the color wheel, and so that just makes a really kind of pleasing arrangement. Okay, and so I would go on, and you can create as many slides as you want to, but you can see how you take away things, you put what you want in, you can move them around. You can lock these too. Like say I wanted to lock group something, that's a great feature to have. Hang on, let's see.
Let me slip in a quick question while you're on this. Nancy's wondering, can you precisely put in lines without eyeballing it?
You probably could with that little mark. Hang on, let me show you. Sometimes they'll show you here. The best way to do this is to go into File, okay, and then the View, Show Rulers and Guides, and then you can see every single thing. Okay, usually it's in inches. I'm not sure why I'm in centimeters, but
that's good enough. That
it'll still work. Yeah. So you can put it in here, and I usually do have those on because I do like to see where I am in the thing.
All right. There's another question in here before you kind of close this out.
Sure.
So Darlene says, Canva auto-saved my presentation, so now she doesn't seem to be able to get her original template. It seems like it's saved over. Do you know how to get the original template back?
So the way I usually do it is just go back to my minimal and clean. Like, so I would just go back to the actual template. Like, is that what she means?
I think Darlene, I think what she did was she pulled a template, she's worked on it, it automatically saved it, and then she wants to go back to the original. I think, Darlene, all you have to do is go back to maybe whatever search you had to get to that original. If that's not what she meant.
Okay. Yeah. So the one thing, yeah, that's why I always save. Like I know which one I use, and then I save. Like up here is where you change the name, and so then you're saving your content. And so if you wanted to create a template of your own that you really liked, at some point stop where you want it, save it as something else, and then go off of it and change the name when you come back in. And it will, then you can always have that one template that you use as long as you keep remembering to save it right away as a different name.
Okay.
And then one other thing that I do love is that you can make a copy right here. And so that's really nice to make a copy and then just do it, because every class of mine is a similar structure. And so I just make a copy and then I do the next week.
Okay. So close this out. So for instance, so for them to get this out of Canva,
okay. Okay. So it's over here, it's share. And I honestly, I even when I did presentations for you, Linda, I ran it in Canva. I ran it through Canva. But if you wanted to do it, you could download it. Okay. And then you decide that here's your options. You have JPEG, PNG, PDF standard. That's what they're suggesting. That's usually the best option when you're, but if you wanted to print it, this would be best for printing. If it's a video, a GIF, whatever, however you want it, you pick it. So let's just say I want to share it in what they suggest, PDF standard. Okay. And then do I want all the pages? Because sometimes I have extra pages that are part of the template that I don't want, but I want them in there just in case I want to use them another time. And so I would uncheck it. Okay. So I don't want that blank page in my presentation. So I would uncheck it. So you can check the pages that you want, and then it's done, and you just download it, and it goes, and it'll download it for you onto your your downloads. Mm-hmm. So that's great. So yeah, if you want to do that, but I almost always run my presentations off of Canva. That's just me, how I do it. So that's good. Okay. Any other questions about this? We'll go back up.
No.
Okay. So this was a fun thing. I don't do many videos, but this was a fun thing I found that it's kind of like a little, it's almost like one of those Christmas card videos, but I thought I would show you how to do it. So then again, here are all your different templates for videos, and that's the same as a reel. So I'm not going to do those. I wanted to show you some of these other ones. So here you go. Here's some options: mobile videos, Facebook videos. Just pick one of these to Instagram reels, TikTok videos. Okay, so they already have the format for you. You just pick it and change out your pictures. But there was this little card. Hang on. That's kind of fun. No, I don't want to create a blank. Sorry. Okay. I lost it. Okay. So this is called, the title was the Beige Elegant Animated Celebration. So this was a lady who did a video to celebrate her anniversary. Okay. And I thought that I would do a video to show you how crazy my dog is, because it's his birthday coming up. So I wanted to show you how it changed. So these are my dog videos I loaded. So this is what it looked like originally over here. It was a couple, you know, they're having a great time. There's these little 10-second clips, okay, and they're celebrating their anniversary. It's great. But I was like, oh, you know, this would be fun to do with, I don't have videos of my husband holding me and swinging me around. I thought, okay, it'd be fun to do a birthday thing for my dog. So I stuck in I uploaded videos of him under videos. Okay. So here he is. Okay. I uploaded 2 of his little short videos. And then I thought, okay, well, it is time to celebrate. It's his birthday coming up. But I'm going to change the text. So let me lower it just a tiny bit. Okay, there you go. Okay, so it's his birthday. Okay, so hang on, let me go back over here. So it's his birthday. His birthday. And you just drag the video over. Here, look, I'll show you. You just drag the video over. He was stealing something. His name is Bandit. Okay, and so then what it did is it put the video not where I wanted it, because his head is being cut off. And so I can pull it down. I double click on it and then I pull it down so that his whole head is in it. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to say it's his birthday. Oh my goodness. It is birthday. Okay. It's time to celebrate. She has this cute little heart that she found in Elements under hearts. Watch. Okay, and then they're in motion. Hang on. Okay, so she has this little heart that she got somewhere in here that's in motion. Okay, oh, there it is. She probably changed the color of it right there. Okay, so that's the same one she used. She just changed the color of it. So there it is, that little heart that moves. Okay, and so his birthday is on March.
Basically, you can customize the text as much or as little as you want.
Yep. And then you can add this cute thing. And so then when you run it, okay, let me just show you what it looks like when you run. Make sure your cursor's back over here at the beginning. Then you run it. It's just a combination of things that are going, which is, it's a lot to look at, but I guess it's kind of fun. It's just a cute way to do a video that's just a little different than kind of like you would do the reel format. So anyway, so that's, the videos are really, if you want to add something to this and you want it, you just push the plus and then you add more video to it and then it'll switch to the next video. Okay. These are pretty straightforward. The one thing about it is if it's not, you can see how he's bigger, his picture is bigger than the place where it needs to be. If you use the templates, you kind of are stuck with that, but you can adjust them a little bit if you want. But I just move, you double click and you just move, you know, the picture up and down, the video up and down to where you want it to be so that people can see it the way you want them to see it. Yeah, so videos are pretty straightforward. You just add another one. You can shorten them by, it's the same thing. You can shorten it by clicking on it. And then, okay, I want it to stop at 16 seconds. Yeah, so, and then just come back here and run it again and see if you like it, the way it looks. And you can do that. Yep. Anyway, the way they did these words is she animated them. Effects. Okay, never mind. She animated the whole thing. That's how it works. Okay, so she animated right here using that.
Yeah. So basically, you just need to spend time fiddling with different options, because I know that when I get onto Canva, I can kill a whole hour trying to get a 10-second video to post, because it really will unleash your creativity. Even if you don't think you have any, you can play and create something fun, because Karen basically used Canva to format her book, right?
Yeah, yeah. Use Canva. Yeah.
So you can do a whole lot with this app. And if you haven't used it, give yourself some time and play in it. So it was canva.com. Is that where you go?
Canva.com. Yeah.
And
Canva.com.
you can log on, create an account. I have a free account, and as much as I play on it, I haven't run out of options. There's so many different templates, so many different fonts. That's where I get in trouble, is I can play with fonts. Music, I'm not crazy about their music. So when if I do a reel, or mostly I do videos. So if I do videos, because I use them on my website, that's one of the places that I can start creating something that I throw into my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel. So I usually go to the YouTube music library, and I just it's just more variety there. So that's the takeaway for me, because when Karen introduced me to Canva, I'm like, oh, why did you do that? Why did you do this? So Karen, this was a lot. It's really hard to do this live, and it's really hard when you've got, you've done it a practice run, and then you're trying to do it in front of everybody. So thank you for doing it. I knew that you would come up with something that hopefully other people will try. In fact, if you do create a reel, tag Karen so she can see what you did, because so that she can borrow your idea. That's what Karen and I do, is just we just borrow from other people that are far more creative than we are. So
true.
All right, Karen, thank you. I'm going to close the session out. I think I covered most of the questions, if not all of them. But as always, it was fun to have you. And I certainly appreciate you adding one more thing that we can, add to our creative bucket. All right, you can connect with Karen through her website at homeplate101.com and on Instagram at homeplate_101. Next week, travel photographer and also landscape photographer Shanda Aiken will join us with her presentation, Global Photography, Tips, Travel, and Gear. And it could not come at a better time. We're hitting spring, and people I know are already talking about where they're going and what they're going to be doing this spring and summer. So I think it's perfect to have her next up. All right, until next time, go out and create something beautiful. And I hope that we see you again soon.